After the 6 o'clock hour, Sunshine City. Good afternoon to you, Eastern Caribbean. How you doing? The 5 o'clock talk at 6 is on right now. Definitely. Yep. Your extras in the house. Also, Kevin is in the house. How you doing, Kevin?
So, Liga, how are you all doing? I think special good afternoon to all Soligans and the mother of all Soligans. Giving thanks for life, for everything therein, and everything that we know not about. And still showing that gratitude towards life.
Definitely.
Just for love, for the people to enjoy what we have to offer.
Well, by now the folks should be understanding what's going on with the Monday afternoon program. Every Monday afternoon, you know how it is. We just mix it up here. We got the Patriot in the house, and we also got
the old man.
No, man, not the old man.
The teacher.
Okay.
Okay, you elevated me from the veteran now to the teacher. I know you mean the old man. No matter where you put it, I know you mean the old man. The young rising star.
The young rising star and the veteran.
And the old man.
Okay, you want to say old man. I didn't say.
It's okay, I come through with that. I don't wonder he gonna become old man too.
You know, I stopped calling an old man. I call the golden age.
Oh, okay, good. Sounds good.
The golden age.
Sounds good.
Like high call instead of low call.
Exactly. Yes, no, we're not local no more. We high call now.
Great.
Yes. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Nick Ray. Good afternoon, Kevin. And thanks again for having us here and in the ER.
Yes,
because this is the ER, the operation room.
Yes.
Where we are conducting, brain surgery, mental surgery on our people, to make sure that, their mind is properly wired so that they can be empowered, and be the proud Samaritan people, basically our ancestors were and we are supposed to be.
Yes.
So I hope everything is sterile, ready to go.
Everything is ready to go.
Good.
My picture.
Good afternoon to the people of St. Martin. It is time to blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle.
Right now we are in very complex situations in St. Martin. And the people of St. Martin need to understand the importance of them being recognized as the owners of this country. You have one life to live, and you must live it meaningful and purposeful. If we are not willing to stand up for our rights and to defend our heritage and our children's or grandchildren's rights, then we don't value our own life. And today we're going to go in depth in what is expected as us as true people from St. Martin heritage.
Yes, I would like to make use of this opportunity, at the beginning of the program, to add something to what Billy D said yesterday. Friday. Yeah. Friday he was your guest, and I got to commend you all for a very, very good program. Made a tremendous impact, and you really are contributing to making Samaritan people more aware of themselves, their situation, and what's taking place. And I want to add to something that Billy D said, which is in and of itself correct, but I think it's not the complete picture. At a given moment, Billy D said, and you repeated, that I think it's very serious, very important that we pay attention to this, because he repeated that and implied in a sense that we cannot make it as a country because we have been set up to fail. Right? We have been set up to fail. When I heard that, I was waiting for the rest of the story, because for me that's part of the story, and I think it's very important for people to realize that it's just part of the story. Why is it important for people to realize it's part of the story? If we would not complete the story, it would mean that because the French or anybody else sets us up to fail, that automatically we will fail. This is a very, very, very important, concept we're talking about, you know. And it goes back to what we said during the last program. During the last program, we said that instead of really jumping and talking about all kinds of issues that are affecting us, we should deal with the main issue, the first issue at hand, which is that St. Martin people got to realize that they exist. St. Martin people got to realize they exist as a people, and even before that, right, St. Martin people got to realize that they exist as a human being, as a person. You know, a lot of people, it might sound strange, but a lot of people, even adult people, some people even die without even realizing that they existed. You know, it's very important for people to realize, you know, and have a consciousness of self, you know, to realize I am, you know. In that sense, it could be helpful just to look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and then realize that if you look in the mirror, you don't see nothing. You know? It's not that you see nothing, you see somebody in the mirror. So what that means that you exist. Because the mirror isn't going to reflect something that does not exist.
Exactly.
So since you exist, that is one of the biggest, let's say, one of the biggest steps of humanity. I am. Because once you recognize and you realize that you exist, from there, a lot of steps, a lot of processes can take place in which allow you to relate with others. You understand? When you know I am, you can take it to the next level. You can say I am valuable, right? I have a mind of my own. I can do so and so. I can be set up to fail, but that doesn't mean that I have to comply. Why? Because I have a mind of my own, so I have a choice, and I can set myself up for success regardless of what they, meaning the others, want. In other words, it's up to us to choose one or two roles. Either to be the victim, as somebody basically is programming you to be, or to be the victor, which you program yourself to be. And I think that this is the choice that we individuals have to make, and then collectively as a people we have to make, that we exist. Because when I exist, we exist, I am a St. Martiner, we are St. Martiners, we have a country, we have a pride, then you start building, and from there basically you become a real nation.
That's so deep.
So I think, well, I didn't go deep enough, but I think it's very important
just
for us to realize.
Just the fact to know that you have to realize I am.
I am.
Let me even touch a little bit and go a little bit more in depth. Our house right now, that we call St. Martin, is like sewage, because the people who was before never really had it organized. So we get all the filth come here. As a St. Martin person, we have to look at it and say, we have a lot of work to do, because this house is dirty. That alone should give you a sense of pride and the will to clean up your island and not be depressive and say, I'm going from here. And the contrary, it's supposed to motivate you to change what is not good, because it is your house, it is your property, it also will be your children and grandchildren's property. So my question is this to the people of St. Martin: if I come in your house and mess it up, would you run out and go somewhere to live, or would you defend your base? If you decide to defend your base, you just give your life purpose and meaning, because you realize I have human rights too. This is my domain. I have to fight for it, and nobody isn't going to do it for you. When you do that, then you establish I am, and I have human rights, and I will use all means to make sure I get what is rightfully mine, and nobody can do it for you. So I'm saying we have so much work to do. This is what I call really building a nation. We have to correct the mistakes and learn from the mistakes of the past. And if you decide that you're going to run then your life don't have no value. Not only a coward, but you belittle yourself that you said, I can't change things. If you cannot change your country, what makes you think you can go live somewhere else to change somebody else's problem? A real man, a woman, have to make a stand in the country to make it better and not run from the problem. And we know, we take it out among ourselves to change St. Martin. We see it as a challenge for us to correct what was done wrong. And we have so much of work to do. And that's why we establish failure is never an option, and we guarantee success because we will change it. The government have no more choice but to listen, because we're going to lead them. See, because I understand now that these people just don't have the courage and the moral character and conviction to change St. Martin to where it's supposed to be. So we leave it out long time. We is leading this nation to bring it back where it's supposed to be and make sure that we are in control of this country.
You know, what is so amazing, right? To how the people's state of mind is, that when the caca hit the fan, to me it seemed like they have a special spaceship or so that they're going to run away from all the disaster and all the destruction that is taking place, that basically that they ignited upon the face of this creation of basically earth, but darkness and matter. But to succeed, for me, is the ultimate goal of humanity. So where that concern, if we investigated that we were set up to fail, so we know the failure, we can identify that failure. So therefore now, we have the authority to basically eliminate
whatever set up
to fail us.
Yeah.
So we can eradicate that process, that failure process, and that's why we discussed it, reverse that psychology.
The way I look at it is this: I could care less who set me up to fail. I plan to succeed.
About it.
Period.
But we can identify the source.
Look, the problem is we have to look at ourselves. I can do you anything, but it's what you allow me to do to you. So don't focus on what they want to do. Focus on what you have to get done.
Yeah. And
that's the principal thing about this thing.
In other words, start right at the mirror. Mr. James just discussed it.
You see, we could accept. As long as we accept, we're going to get. But when you stop accepting, then you're going to stop giving also. So it's up to you to keep accepting.
Exactly.
And you will always get it. But the day you decide, you know what happened? Yo, yes. I'm not accepting no more.
You see, what is very important to, is to think positively to start with.
That's right.
Because there is something that's called self-fulfilling prophecy. Meaning, basically, what you think is going to happen to you will happen to you. Right? So it's very important that you realize that you have a mind of your own, and that your mind is like a filter. You can decide what frequencies to allow into your mind, right? And even once they are into your mind, how you interpret it. In other words, you can condition your mind to the extent that whatever information, whatever data enters my mind, because I want to be successful, I interpret a success. So, if somebody sets me up to fail, I have conditioned my mind, I have created filters that what they are telling me actually is that I will succeed. You understand? Because what they are emitting, the information they're emitting with the intent, isn't what necessarily going to happen. It depends on my filters. It depends on how I condition my mind. And once I condition my mind that, listen, that knife you got there, trying to kill me with, I see that knife as a wonderful opportunity. I don't see a knife. Because, I have made up my mind. I've decided in advance the end result. of my being. And the end result is I will be successful. That is non-negotiable. That is something that is set. So whatever others plan to do and to throw me off, it really matters not. You understand? As a matter of fact, and I don't want to give us too much of thought because it's not worth it. We have to realize there's something that you call redundancy of information, right? If we say, okay, the French, for instance, or the Dutch, they are setting us up, you're not saying anything at all. Because guess what? In life there is a struggle for survival. Just lie down on the ground and do nothing. The rats can come take a chance, right? You fall asleep, they're going to nibble at your toes. The ants can come. The microbes that you can't see are going to come eat you up. So, I mean, life is an energy to maintain itself. So if you don't maintain yourself, guess what? Somebody else is going to maintain itself at your expense. So we got to stop focusing on what others plan to do. I always say to myself, thank God you got a plan. It's like the devil. We all know that the devil, the job of the devil is to make you commit sin. That's nothing new. And that's his job. But my job is not because you as the devil means that automatically I gonna fall for you. No, because I condition my mind already. I believe in God. So whatever you do is completely irrelevant. So, but having said all of that, I want to focus on the positive developments that are taking place, right? Because we all know that there are a lot of positive developments taking place, And I want to commend us, let me put it up, for taking all the separate, let's say, nation-building aspects, which there are so many, there are so many of us, and we never really realize, and give them the credit, who are standing up and speaking out for us as a Samaritan people in terms of us reclaiming what is rightfully ours. Some do it by writing, others do it by poems, others do it, by songs. You have talk shows, you have so many things. And what we are doing now is we are bringing all of those aspects, we're bringing them together, as you say, network. And I like the word that you introduced, Kevin. What we are doing now is we are creating, let's say, the Samaritan nation building jollification, where we bring all the people together to build the Samaritan house. Because in the past, that was the way that our ancestors built their homes. They built wonderful homes. And when people came from abroad, they were envious of us because they figured we have a lot of money. But it was not money per se alone that built those wonderful homes. It was the notion of us coming together. The women will bring Johnny cake, soup. The men will bring, one will bring nails, another one will mix cement, other one will go in the hill and cut rocks or whatever. So that's what we are going to do now. We are going to build the Samaritan nation, through jollification. And you're going to see that once we start that process, we're going to boost our morale. We're going to boost, because when you are separate and you feel that you are the only one out there, you tend to lose morale.
That's correct.
But through jollification, we are going to boost Samaritan people's morale, not only in Samaritan, around the world. And once that morale is boosted to a sufficient level, Samaritan people, every individual, as a matter of fact, is going to stand up boldly and reclaim his or her rights. And collectively, we are going to reclaim what is ours. So I think we should focus more on those type of developments, than let's say, people setting us up. I find, as a matter of fact, let me be very cynical. I find if we don't set up ourselves for success, others have the obligation to set us up for failure. Period.
Exactly.
I want to touch on that because if I talk about myself personally, in the last 15 years, the events surrounding St. Martin reveal me who I am, because it gives me a sense of purpose to fight for country. So I say to myself, this problem, I'm the man to solve it. And that's what I said, is how you look at it. Situation in St. Martin is supposed to reveal not only who the true love of country, but it also gives you a sense of purpose of life.
Yeah.
If you choose to run and to complain, then you haven't discovered who you are yet. Because the situation should reveal who you are. And I say, as St. Martin people, this present situation, look, bring us here together, unite us. So if you look at it in the positive sense, maybe it did us a favor because it forced us to come together and recognize who we are as a people.
Yeah.
So look at it in the positive sense. And I'm telling you, this thing just gave me, open an energy button on me to really perform and to bring St. Martin to where it's supposed to be. But more importantly, to make sure we don't repeat that mistake from the past.
Yes, definitely. Let me say this before we run out of time, because time to run so fast. I want to send an invitation to each and every guest that I had that come through that we had on this program. Send us an invitation to you all. The first Sunday of the month on the 7th. The 7th of October. From 2 to 5.
Yes.
Cripple Gate.
No. Friars Bay.
Friars Bay. That's Friars Bay.
Friars Bay.
Okay. Yeah.
Opposite the Gut Restaurant.
Opposite the Gut Restaurant. So from 2 to 5, we're going to meet there and we're going to have our jollification right there. So everybody that passed on the program and the folks who are listening that love what we're doing, all you who meet me in the streets and congratulate us for what we're doing and bigging us up and empowering us, you all are invited also to come there at just in front of the gut, on the opposite side of the gut. Yeah.
And if I may add to it, what we are doing, we are reawakening the spirit of St. Martin.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right.
I love that word. Reawakening the spirit.
And we had our meeting last night, right? Where we work on the preparation of this event. And already you came with some information in terms of people who want to really have a tremendous input to take it to the next level. And we can sense it. We can sense because St. Martin people are wonderful people. But you have to create the circumstances so that their potential, their real potential, can be exposed. And that's what we are doing. And I think it's very important to that people continue contacting us, contacting you, especially X-Ray, and give us ideas in terms of what we can do. We plan to do it every Sunday, but it's going to be a work in progress. It's going to be evolving as we go along.
Every first Sunday of the month.
And
we'll be building on it.
Exactly.
As we go on, it'll be getting better organized, and people understand what we're doing.
And I tell you something, I think, we might get a shock of our lives. No, I know. Because sometimes people, I've experienced it many times myself, in my family circle of friends and as a teacher, that you have a person who you would tend to underestimate that he or she has no potential whatsoever. Quiet, shy, and whatever. It was just because, the circumstances did not allow for that person to open up and bloom. You understand?
Yes.
And I am sure, I've had it so many times, that I have managed to inspire somebody, to discover the I, to discover themselves. And when they start to develop, I myself am shocked to realize that, listen, if I thought I was sharp, I ain't nobody at all. In that sense. Because, again, people have, and that's why it's so sad that many people pass on without having really known self. And that has to do also with our environment, our surroundings, not encouraging us, to find that inner self. That inner self that's connected with the universe.
The I.
I just thought, Chuck, a question to you all. Which part of this world is the most richest place in the world? Guess where?
Inside yourself.
The graveyard. So many people die never discovering the potential and unleashing the energy and the brain power. And I'm saying that is because they never established the I.
That's true.
They didn't find a sense of purpose in life.
That's true.
And that's what we learn from.
That's true.
That's why I said, from now on, when I see St. Martin's situation, I see hundreds of thousands of opportunities. And that motivates you to correct the path and to make sure we learn from it. And what we are doing here, especially for that meeting for every first Sunday, you're going to see what they call a real people coming together and bringing St. Martin together and nation building. You're going to see a display of culture, of talent, of intellect, and people of St. Martin heritage and ideas.
Out of the box idea.
Because it's a false notion that people of St. Martin is stupid. That is so false. We have so many intelligent people here, but we never give them a chance to display what they have to offer. And because we have never given them the sense of purpose of belonging to a real country, and we're going to change that, and we're going to make it a success, guaranteed.
You know, and I like what you all are doing, huh? Because you've had in Benedito many guests on your program, and many of them were very, very outstanding, very, very, very outstanding, outstanding.
Yes.
You know, and I think it's good for all of us, you know, to meet each other. You know, that we can physically meet each other, you know, and get to know each other and share ideas with each other. You know, one of the things I find very important too, you know, for these type of gatherings, you know, jollification, to use your term again, you know, I want to thank you for that term, introducing that term. It's great. I like it. You know, is bringing out our elderly people.
Yes.
Because the worst thing that can happen to a nation is when the elderly people disappear, you know, without
all the knowledge
you had the you know, as a people the opportunity to benefit from their knowledge and or to recognize them. Because it's so important. A nation that doesn't recognize its elderly, you can have all the casinos you want, you can have all the 4-wheel drives you want, SUVs you want, you're still a primitive nation.
Exactly.
Very primitive. Because that isn't where you determine the value of a nation.
No.
You know, with all the material wealth. No. It's how you value yourself. How you value your own. How you value your elderly people. How you value your
roots.
Your roots. Those that are weak, you know, physically and otherwise impaired, you know. So it would be nice if during that event, all of us, you know, can visit an elderly St. Martiner, you know, and bring that St. Martiner to the event, whether it's in a rocking chair, a wheelchair, you know, on crutches, bring them out. I think it's very important. We cannot move forward as a people if we do not recognize them.
I'd just like to add to that saying, I wanted to invite them actually, those that are able, the elders, and that can come and contribute their knowledge. You are more than welcome. Actually, we really want you all to be there.
Need them.
And as you just started, the ones that are disabled, I was saying if maybe we organize a group, and then maybe the other Sunday bring our next group, maybe we get a transportation, a bus or whatsoever, and wherever, maybe the old people home or what have you, and then you know, we take that group and they be part of the jollification.
I think they would love it.
We go to our next group. But we just bring awareness so that maybe they organize amongst themselves.
Exactly.
Which group going to be going this time and next time.
Then we have to sit down with the people for the St. Martin home or whatever.
You know, I think we should let it flow. Because it's clear that we're on to something big. You know, so we shouldn't rush. We shouldn't rush. Just let it flow. Let it flow. Let it take its time. The main thing is that we start. The main thing is that we recognize that there's a we. That's the main thing.
Let me say something spiritual which I think is very important. You know, the book says, the Bible says, the greatest thing is to love. I want each and every St. Martin person, people of St. Martin heritage, to look at each other and say, while we can disagree, maybe politically, on a certain subject, I love you, my brother, I love you, my sister, and treat each other with dignity and respect. Because you can't have a nation if you don't love your people. And see, when you love your people, you're not only going to recognize them, you're going to treat them with respect, like how you would like to be treated. And once you got that unity together, you can break any political, because the people becomes the most important aspect, which it's supposed to be. So then politics can't control anymore. It will be love of country and patriotism, which is the core of the bonding of people of St. Martin heritage.
For love is the ultimate healing process.
That's for sure.
Love, for sure. So therefore, I would like to see the unification that become real strong and significant. And I would love for the people then to bring that spirit along. And for us to spiritually connect, but besides spiritually, because you don't have to be there physically, but now we spiritually connect and physically connect with one another, so we can bring forth the necessary changes and bring corrections where it needs to be corrected.
Do you all notice a change in the vibe You notice it?
On Ireland,
it came very humble.
Even here, you know,
Right.
vibe. You know,
We have a loving, happy vibe.
Here represents what happened out there. So what happened here happens out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Believe me, this is just a microcosmos of out there. But do you notice a vibe? And that is because we have empowered ourselves. When you empower yourself, you don't focus on others setting you up because you realize you got the power.
Exactly.
You know, and we're going to realize that we have been, quote unquote, wasting time for so long thinking the power was with others.
Yeah. Imagine that.
While the power is with us.
Yeah.
You understand? And when you recognize that the power is within yourself, you tend to be less violent and negative. Because violence, and I talk for myself too, you know, you know, because you are angry at times, you know, because of helplessness. You feel helpless. And helplessness is a terrible situation because nothing good comes out of helplessness. You empower yourself. And I feel, I sense, you know, and I've been getting quite some feedback from different people who want to be part of this event, right, who love the notion, you know, and you sense, you know, a turnaround, you know, even politicians. Politicians really, they envy us. You know why? Because politicians walk around with three-piece suits, but they are zombies. They stand for nothing. They are nobodies. You see, they make this big salary and whatever, and still they go to sleep. There is no self-fulfillment because they have not fulfilled self. They have fulfilled somebody else's agenda.
Correct.
So they are so envious of us, you know, that we can be who we are. We don't need to ask them if they agree. We don't have to ask them permission.
You know?
No, exactly.
That's what the thing about. I thought we had these fellas compromise, man. But where these fellas are the back, man. Don't worry, man. We ain't backing up.
But they're gonna benefit from it themselves.
We are not.
If they are wise.
That's the good thing.
If they are wise.
That's the good thing about what we're doing.
Yes.
Everybody will
benefit. Yes, exactly.
You know what is nice in this whole setting too? It gives you a peace of mind, but it also makes you sharper in your intellect. Because, like I say, when love is established and you have a sense of purpose of life that I am, the sky is the limit, and it brings harmony, but it also brings a sense of belonging and love of country and patriotism. When I see the future, I see now people say British controlling the whole government, controlling the key position. Then you know, well, yes.
But not only that, I think when you really have been, you know. You have been, you know, justice done to you. You would really love other people.
Yes.
Because what happens with a lot of immigrants here now, we tolerate them. The politicians tolerate them. They absolutely do not love them. Absolutely not. For the simple reason that they do not love themselves.
That's true.
You cannot love somebody else
if you don't love yourself. That's correct.
That's correct. You could pretend.
That's the evidence right there.
You could pretend.
I think they're using them too.
So when Samaritan people feel finally justice done to them, you know, we are not going out there taking it out on others. That's not the idea. It's about justice. What has to be done has to be done. But it's not that we go out there, you know, like a mob. That's not the idea. The idea is universal justice. You understand? So everybody is going to benefit from it. And that could mean at a certain moment that some people could say, that could mean some people just have to go back home.
Definitely.
You understand? But it's not done with any malice. I mean, what is wrong with people? That's why I said we are here in the operation room. We are conducting operations, not blood flowing, but this operation. You know, because we have to reconfigure people's mind. You know, because what is wrong with going back? What's wrong with going back home? How come you could leave home? Nothing wrong with that. But when you got to go back home, oh God, But what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
The notion what we mistake we make in the past, people is of the concept that once a foreigner come in, he's supposed to get rights. That is not true. If you're coming to work and making money and go back where you belong. Because we have to teach our people that this country is for us. some may come and may stay, and they have added value. But this Samartan is not some kind of a disco where everybody comes in.
No, because you make children here.
That is not true.
A lot of Samaritans. I have some sisters and brothers that were born in Aruba that basically didn't know Samaritan. But guess what? When it's time, they better find where their home is, and they found where their home was.
And that
is just a silly notion about you're born here, you don't know nowhere else.
But trust me, the people that we talking about know better. Because when they came, they asked them how long you come here for.
Okay.
When you come, when you're leaving. You have to put a return date. So they know better.
I just want to bring to the attention of Soliga that we are the ones that are instrumental, that we can bring forward the necessary and identify that love amongst ourselves. And it is nothing difficult, there's no miracles, there's no high science, but just simplicity, because what this was explaining just now, with the feeling in here, is very humble.
A sense of responsibility.
Correct. And that humble spirit, I would love to inject into the people.
Correct.
And within harmonizing ourselves, we will see miracles.
Correct. Because what a lot of people don't realize, St. Martin people by nature are hospitable people.
Yeah.
We will never become a people of hate. And I hope it never happens, because we are not like that. But you mustn't squeeze us in a corner that our existence is at stake, because then it's difficult to be hospitable under those circumstances. You see? So I think this discussion is very important, and I'm sure that outside there, among St. Martin's as well as among others, this discussion, is taking place. And it's good. It's very good.
Yeah,
since taking part and doing this program, my life, working life, has become much easy. And much flexible, because when I go in my line of duty and I go to different places, different departments, I've been called the voice of the people. I say, we can't leave the voice of the people here waiting, man. We got to try to help him out the best as possible. Believe me, that feeling, trust me, I just get goosebumps.
I admire you very much, Kevin, as a young person. Very, very much, and I have to admit too, that I find that you are maturing tremendously.
Yeah.
You're maturing tremendously. And it's because you have an open mind. You have an open mind, willing to listen. You don't have to agree with everything that is said by others, certainly not by old men like me. But at least you listen, and then you draw your own conclusion. And I find that's a sign of intelligence, and a sign, of humility. And I see it in you.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good, because, hey, the day that, hey, I have to go to greener pastures, I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I really thank God, to tell you the truth, that I live to see this development taking place.
I have the second emotion on that, because I work with Kevin from the beginning. And apparently when he started, I'm working, we do the show together.
Yeah.
It was like the first time he doing talk show.
He got young.
Yeah, and from then to now,
different.
You have grown tremendously. Definitely. You feel it too, right?
Don't reach my age. Reach the wisdom. Don't reach the age.
I would love to reach the age and leave.
But it's good, Kevin. It's really, really, really good, because I find this setting is so nice. I'm the what do you call me again?
The veteran.
I'm the veteran. You are a rising star.
Yeah.
You are basically an artist. And I find it so good that being an artist, because often artists focus, basically they stay away from controversial issues.
Yeah.
Right? Because they just look at, hey, you have to make a living.
Yeah.
You have artists, and you have a young St. Martin here.
You know something about artists? Every time this artist travel, I have to give up return date. When are you going back to your country?
And this artist has no problem with it. Right?
I have no problem with it. So when I come home and I see that other people taking out my place, no, I got a problem.
With this event, we're planning, let me tell the people of St. Martin, support your St. Martin people. supportive event, you're going to feel the awakening of the spirit of St. Martin, and you're going to love your people.
But
you're going to get a sense of purpose in life and that pride.
I even want to support. Because it's for their own good.
Yes. Just be yourself and acknowledge who you are and love each other.
Yes.
As Kevin said, Kevin, I love the word justification. You build a house that you're going to live in yourself.
Yes. Enjoy your preservation. Enjoy your preservation.
You build a home that's going to preserve you and generations to come. That's what we're talking about.
We think it's your thing, so you have no other choice. You're obligated to support.
Yeah, I got to congratulate you for using that word.
Gentlemen, we got to leave it right here. We close it gone.
We close it gone. I just wanted to say, like Serenade has died out on the island. Whoever used to take part in Serenade can serenade. I mean, come and bring the vibe.
Yeah, contact X-Ray, for instance. Any one of us, and then we can see what we can.
I don't think the Serenade didn't really die out. But what happened? A lot of people have change the style of serenade and start bringing some system around.
Yeah, exactly. Sound system, what kills.
That'll kill it.
Yeah, exactly.
But we bring back the old good days.
Bring them the old good guitar and band.
Yeah, exactly. That's nice.
Yeah,
it's real nice.
It's cultural heritage.
Yeah, it will be different.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the modern time, those youngsters that are taking part now could learn from that lyrically.
Yeah,
the lyrical content concern and come out with some powerful international.
Absolutely.
And hey, put some art on the map.
Nice feeling. Nice vibe.
Gentlemen, we got to leave it there.
All right. Thank you. Love you all. Have a wonderful day, people.
And the operation has succeeded. That's patients still alive.
Tomorrow morning, Talking Point.
You're dragging me in again.
Yes, you got to come in because we got some things to talk about.
Okay, well, your wish is my command, right?
Children and to the mothers of my children.
Thank you very much for having me again.
Yes,
good evening to your many listeners.
And folks, that's it for tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back again here on Talking Point. Hold on for Billy the Captain D, right on the SOS radio station. So, with that, have yourself a beautiful evening. God love you. Peace and